build up. I think they start off the region play with D'Iberville, which would be good.
All right, man. Well, have a great
All
weekend.
right, hey, and I do want to say this. Pearl. I'm from Pearl. Jack Durr, him and Bray Hubbard, same size. Jack Durr is only a 10th grader. He was a starting quarterback as a 9th grader. The dude is a real deal. That is he is the reason. Now, they've got, they got talent. But I'm just telling you, this kid's going to get better and better. Let him get comfortable, and it's going to be, oh, my God. I'm just telling you, I've known him since him and my kid are the same age. I'm like, this dude's good.
He's the real deal. Well, thanks for the tip, Bob. We got to run, get some folks in. Good to hear from you, and we'll talk to you next week, my friend.
All right, thank you.
Ty Boyles.
Ty, I was getting a score from Crystal Springs early, but did you hang on and win that game?
No, we lost 24-14.
All right, what is it? That was in a conference game. Well, who'd you lose to?
We've lost to South Pike, Jefferson County, and Fort Gibson.
And that was Port Gibson that beat you tonight, right?
Yes.
All right, now does Crystal Springs have an off week next week?
No, we start district next week.
See, that's where those 2A, 3A, 4As.
Like in 7A, there's only like 23 or 24 schools playing 7A football.
Right.
And they got they're going to be 16 of those that are going to make the playoffs.
Wow.
Just the way it works. So anyway, but that's the reason why they have a bye week.
All right. Well, I know he wants to say it, so say it and take us to break. All right, Chris. Well, we got some time for some scores, or who do we have?
Well, no, I would. We'll come back with Mike from Haysburg and Joseph Craven and Matt Timms after the break.
All right. Support from Friday Night Under the Lights comes from Malone Roofing. They have roofing, metal walls, and maintenance serving Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and Florida's Panhandle. Commercial and residential roofing information can be found at ecmalone.com. Friday Night Under the Lights will continue in a moment.
When storms rage, Malone responds. From claim to completion, Malone Roofing has helped rebuild communities for nearly 50 years. Contact Malone for 24/7 service at ecmalone.com.
Did you know HBCUs are a great place to network? Did you know Cricket has a great network with speedy 5G and is a proud supporter of HBCUs? Yes.
Everybody already knows.
Dante, did you know this is an A and B conversation? So you need to see yourself out. He knows now.
Get it back to you.
Pretty good season. Did it continue tonight?
It did continue tonight. We were one of those schools that celebrated homecoming in the middle of September, and one going away tonight by a final score of 42-14. It was 35-0 at halftime. But hey, Summerall played hard, and you got to give Coach Shannon White credit for calling Coach Vance to schedule Hattiesburg. when you went to 7A, you're scrounging around to try to find some more non-region games, and Coach Shannon White called Tony Vance to see if he'd be interested in playing them, and they agreed to play for the next 2 years. So Hattiesburg jumped out quickly, 14-0 after the first quarter, then tacked on 3 more touchdowns in the second quarter, go at 35-0 at halftime. Had a running clock for the second half. In fact, the homecoming ceremony lasted longer than the second half did, and Hattiesburg wins it by a final score of 42-14.
You know, I've known Shannon for a long time. He was a neighbor of mine when I was living in Clinton, and I've watched his coaching career. You know, he's going to do some good things at Summerall, but like you say, Mike, he's just really going out there to find a game tonight.
He did, and I don't know if you know this, Russ, or not, but Shannon White in the 1990s was an assistant coach at Hattiesburg.
That's right. That's right. He's had a stellar coaching career. I mean, he's been a lot of places.
He has. He's been a winner everywhere he's went, and they played hard tonight, and they're in a very tough district with Columbia and Poplarville.
Ooh, that Columbia, they just, Coach Bilderback just keeps winning and winning and winning down there. Talk to me about Tony Vance's son at quarterback tonight. What did he do?
Oh, well, we didn't really throw the ball much tonight. He may have had about 80 yards passing. Did throw for 1 touchdown, but he had a 75-yard touchdown run. So he did very well running the ball tonight.
Well, I know that Tony has got this team poised for a run. Mike, just very quickly, next week you do play a game. Is that correct?
We do play a game. An interesting side note of that, we go to George County, and next week the quarterback for George County who left George County and went to Tennessee and came back to George County, Deuce Knight, he will be eligible to play next week.
How about that? Hey, didn't he just commit to Notre Dame or somebody like that?
He did. He committed to Notre Dame next week. So the Tigers will get to see Mr. Knight next week.
Should be interesting. Well, Mike, have a great weekend, my friend. We appreciate it. Congratulations to the Tigers, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
All righty.
Joseph Craven.
You know, Joseph, when you sent me that text today to say who you were playing, and, it was Lafayette County, I'm thinking, boy, this thing could be very close. Not close at all. These Hawks are for real.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it, because that's what we were thinking, too, leading into. We were expecting quite a contest, and, I mean, I don't obviously mean any sort of disrespect to Lafayette County when I say that, because they are a very talented team, but Hartfield's defense came out swinging from the get-go, ready for it. And then I know you always like hearing an update about running back, all-purpose, whatever he is, Reed Jaslowski. And he had himself another game tonight, counted for 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, including an 80-yard run and 1 off of a little swing route that he was able to take in. So, yeah, it was a complete game. It was a complete performance, offense, defense, special teams. I mean, everything was just working. It caught everyone off guard, even the fans, even me.
I've heard all summer that the Hartfield defense would be one of the best in the MAIS, and it's turned out to be that way.
Yes, and that was what, if we learned anything tonight, it was that the defense is as good as we think that they are, because Lafayette County they've got very talented wide receivers, especially. I was talking to the Hartfield coaches during the week, and they said, there were a handful of those guys that they had circled. They're like, we got to keep an eye on them, have to keep an eye on them at all times. So they've got, great players, especially on the edges. And the defense took care of business to the tune of 4 interceptions.
Ooh.
If I remember correctly, two by a player named Kinsey West, who's a junior, one by Brandon Womack, who's a sophomore.
He's very talented. Yeah.
So this is the defense alone will win a lot of games for Hartfield this year. But when the team is clicking the way they were on offense as well, they're a force to be reckoned with.
Well,
what was the final score, if you don't mind, Joseph?
It was 35-7.
Okay.
We did get to the running clock situation, and the Fayette County added a fourth quarter touchdown to make it 35-7.
Well, I'm assuming we'll probably see you in here studio next week since we're getting pecan pie and ice cream from Isabella, who's a big Warren Central fan. I'm sure we'll find you hanging around outside, so we'll let you in and you come meet with us.
If only. I'll be in Louisiana next week as the Hawks travel to Oak Forest.
Oh, that's a lovely trip.
Yeah. I don't think you're planning on keeping the studio open that late. No. But I appreciate the gesture.
No. Hey, listen, Joseph, thanks for the call. Congrats on the win, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. And, hey, 2 weeks from tonight is when Hawks are back at home welcoming the Patriots at the MRA. So that will be quite a contest.
Circle your calendar now. Thanks, my bud.
Yes, absolutely. Y'all have a good one.
All righty.
You know, Russ,
scores. You're going to say more scores here?
Well, I was going to say, just you can comment on this, and maybe we can try to squeeze in a score. But, it kind of is interesting to see, to me, the top level of MAIS, and I'm talking about prep, probably JA, MRA, and Hartfield now, probably those four.
Right.
How competitive they are when playing these, MHSAA schools. I mean, MRA took Oak Grove to the limit last week, and
overtime.
And I was looking through here, and I can't remember if Lafayette's a 4A or a 5A.
They're 4A.
Okay, but that's a pretty strong win there for Hartfield.
It's a huge win, and I think it's to your point, there's a lot of equality with those teams that you just mentioned, but we'll find out, I think, about prep next week when they play West Jones.
Yeah. In So-So. No.
Yes, it's in So-So.
In So-So.
That's right.
I was wrong looking at the clock. I'm going crazy here. We got another 3 or 4 minutes here, so let's squeeze Matt Timms in.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hey, Matt.
Hang on. There you go.
All right. Matt, how are you, bud?
Hey, Brother Russ, how y'all doing?
We good. What's going on up there your way?
Now, listen, let me clarify. I'm covering Holmes Central Academy Trojans.
Right.
I know Holmes Central High School's making a big run, but the Academy is making a big run too, and they had another good night going to 4-2 with a big win over French Camp. I don't know if there's a lot of people talking about French Camp, but boy, I witnessed they got a big offensive line and defensive line, talented receivers, good quarterback, and a real good running back, and they had a 13-0 early lead, and then the Trojans from Central Holmes, they came back and scored twice within a couple of minutes with an onside kick recovery, and then it turned into a show. The halftime score was 28-26. The final score ended up being 56-32. So the defense for the Trojans shut out French Camp in the second half until very late, and when they substituted in the last couple of minutes, and they scored late. But John Ward, the quarterback, had roughly, I'm estimating, over 200 yards rushing. He had around 100 yards passing, and then on defense, playing both ways, he had a 67-yard fumble recovery for a TD. And then Eli Kemp, the running back, their number one running back, had a little over 100 yards too. But and that's kind of normal for their offense, but the defense really stepped up and shut down French Camp. And French Camp's got some hosses on the line. They've got 2 or 3 guys that, Russ, they look like to me they're around 300 pounds.
Whoa!
And then they got a really good, strong running back that's about 5'7", but he's probably 190, mostly legs. But their defense just came on and kept hitting them and kept coming on strong. But Coach Womack, he's got the Trojans rolling. They're 4-2, heading just past the midway mark, and They got a big game against Canton Academy at Canton Academy next week.
That will be a big game. Canton Academy's playing some really good football. Matt, we got to run. Thanks so much for the report, my friend. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you, man. Bye-bye.
Well, why don't you say hello to Kerry Metzler, and then we'll come back to him right after the break.
So it's going to be kind of a double dip for Kerry.
You get 2 carries.
Well, 2 carries better than 1.
Here he is.
Hey, big boy.
How you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm doing probably better than you are right now.
Yeah, I got home. I don't know if I'm in Picayune or where I'm at after the last 2 days on the road. But, man, we'll talk about that when you come back from the break.
Rough night for the Maroon Tide. Very quickly before...
I wouldn't say a rough night. I mean, we still rushed for almost, over 250 yards. We were shut down. We only rushed for 250 yards. But the real story of this game was just a very efficient offense by Ocean Springs. They got a good quarterback. They got a great system. We'll talk about it after the break.
Okay, we'll put you on hold and come back to you. Want to remind everyone that support for Friday Night Under the Lights comes from Cricket Wireless. Phones, plans, and coverage information can be found on their website, cricketwireless.com. We'll take a break. Kerry Metzler for the Maroon Tide on the other side. Stay with us.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket. Like one of our favorite customers, Michelle.
I started my own app company, and with Cricket, I'm able to answer calls from my engineers and investors and know my signal's going to be great. If I had to describe Cricket in 2 words, they would be reliable and affordable.
5G Boss Mode activate. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Leaky roof? Malone Roofing has you covered long after the storm. Mississippi's roofing experts, setting the industry standards. Family owned for over 50 years. Call today or visit online at ecmalone.com.
Did you know HBCUs are a great place to network? Did you know Cricket has a great network with speedy 5G and is a proud supporter of HBCUs? Yes.
Everybody already knows.
Dante, did you know this is an A and B conversation? So you need to see yourself out. He knows now.
When storms strike and wind and hail wreak havoc, Malone Residential Roofing is there through the restoration process all the way to completion. Contact Malone for your free storm inspection and consultation at ecmalone.com.
Back, Russ, with Kerry Metzler on the phone.
All right, Kerry, you lose that game 31-21, but you run the ball for 250 yards?
Yeah, 250 yards tonight. The big story in this game really was the efficiency of Ocean Springs offense. They got a good quarterback. Of course, they lost Hubbard last year, great athlete he was. But the system they run, of course, Blake Bennett got it going. Jake Bramlett was a part of that. He's still there. They run it well. The quarterback played extremely well tonight. He was 17 out of 26, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns for William. Bergman did a good job for them, hit some big plays when they needed to. They just got a really good offense for us. We moved the ball tonight quite well. Darrell Smith, our junior tailback, rushed for 164 yards on 21 totes, and we had some other guys combined for another 108 yards rushing, but story was just efficiency by Ocean Springs. We had a couple turnovers. One of those turnovers cost us a touchdown deep in our own territory, but hey, keep it at Ocean Springs. I'll go back to what my good friend Jake Wimberly said a long time ago tonight. Man, Gulfport and Ocean Springs, those are 2 quality teams.
Yeah.
They got athletes, they got good quarterbacks, they got good teams. Those are 2 quality football teams right there. You look at all these these games that have happened the last couple of weeks. Looking great football, the Madison Central spread around playing people, Brandy going around playing people, Picayune playing, all these 6 and 7A schools playing each other. Looking good football. Now, most everybody get a week off next week as a Maroon Tide will, and then you get focused for your region play, and it'll be interesting to see how the regions play out. But tip your hat to them. They'd be in the Ocean Springs right now. They got a good thing. Look, they're a safety that they gave up, and then a short 3-6 from being 5-0. And Madison Central rallied late to beat that ball game early in the year. You look at where they are; they could be 5-0 right now. That's just how good this ball club is. And impressive win over Northwest Rankin. We all know the storyline on that one. They came back and won that ball game. They beat Scotlandville, Louisiana, which is always in the playoffs over there, about 40 points, and beating Axis. So they're a good ball club. They're well coached. I've said it a few times, but they all very well coached. So nothing to hang our hat about. We're going to be without Chris Davis, Quick Chris, as we call him, for about 6 weeks. For a broken collarbone last week.
Oh, I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah, 4 to 6 weeks. Could be,
Wow.
we're hoping. We got a couple of guys banged up, but that's part of football. It's just the way it goes. No excuses. Just got beat tonight, and that happens. But Coach Stockton's got a great staff, great group of kids. They'll rebound. They'll take these extra days off to get some things worked out, and they'll be back and ready to go when they open region play 2 weeks from tonight against Pascagoula on the road at War Memorial Stadium. It'll be a good one down there. Lewis Tennant does a great job with that program. But, Coach football's alive and well. There's some good quality teams down here. I want to tip my hat for good friend Neil Waller. We cover those games as well. That's radio coverage. Hancock's unbeaten. They're scoring a lot of points. They've got a good football team. Really good skilled people, really good linebackers. And just kind of tip my hat to Neil. He's a good friend. We talk weekly on our In the Huddle show on Friday mornings about his ball club, and they're off to a great start. So there's some quality teams down here in South Mississippi. There's quality teams all over the state, particularly down here on the coast this year. There are a lot of football teams that are playing good football through 5 weeks.
Well, Kerry, we appreciate that report, my friend. We got a lot of folks on the phone, and I know you're going to enjoy that next weekend. You're going to enjoy.
Going to go see old Brookie. Haven't seen her in a long time. Going to go out to Austin and see the baby girl. She's not a baby anymore, but we look forward to making that trip next week.
Well, good. Well, the best to you. Be careful out there on the road. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
Love you guys. Y'all take care.
Thanks, brother.
All right.
And here is Harold.
Harold, do we have a pedal score? I don't think we have a pedal.
Now we had one. I don't have it in front of me.
But I'll give it to you.
Give it to us,
Pell
Harold.
High School wins the ball game 42-14
Yeah, that's right.
Over
Long Beach.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and Kerry was just talking, and I agree. We talked with Jeff Hager a lot in the 11 o'clock hour, and there's some good football on the coast, and this year it's pretty balanced. That's a good win for you guys tonight.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Going into region play in 2 weeks, as we go to a town, Hooley and Brandon. We open up with the Bulldogs.
Oh, man. Wow. Okay.
Jake Wimley, I'm telling you, it's going to be a good show on those ones. And I'm thinking that's on a Thursday night.
Yes.
So but it was a good win for the Petal Panthers tonight to do that. The momentum, they looked fantastic coming out in the first half. It was all Petal in the ball game. It's 42-7 at the half. Then Long Beach scored a touchdown, but it was 42-14 for your final. But guys, that was a lot of turnaround in that ball club tonight. Well-coached ball club, as always. Coach Glenn and them, good staff there. The staff of Petal and Coach with Matt Dillon and all of them, Wendy and Robert Knight and Tyler Watkins and all of our staff at Petal. But tonight was a very important ball game for us, really, because this gives you the momentum going into conference, to region play in 2 weeks, because you got Brandon opening with Petal, you got Oak Grove going to Meridian, So
those are
hey,
two
guys,
big ones.
I'm gonna tell you something. If y'all have not seen Oak Grove yet,
Saw them last week.
they are awesome.
Saw them. We saw them last week, Harold, and I was very, very impressed with them. And of course, they're ranked very, very high. Hey, we got to run. We got a lot of folks on the line tonight, Harold. But I'm glad you called that in, and congratulations on those Petal Panthers. And that's a big win for them tonight. We'll talk to you soon, my friend.
We'll talk to you in 2 weeks, guys.
Sounds good, Harold. Thank you.
Cliff Barker to talk about Tri-County.
All right, Cliff. Another night at the office for Tri-County's Rebels.
Yeah, I went over to Canton Academy, headed across Madison County, and took care of business against the Panthers.
And this Panther football team is pretty good.
Yeah, they've got 2 losses, but both losses were against big-time programs. They got beat by defending 5A MHSAA champions, Holmes County Central, and then they went over to Georgia and got beat by, not sure the name of the team, but a team on a 54-game win streak. They had blown out 3 teams in the MAIS. Got a big-time running back in Chris Hunter.
Yep.
I'm sure you guys have heard about him before. He was legit. But Tri-County came in ready to take care of business tonight. Actually, the last number I heard was held Hunter to somewhere right around 40 yards rushing, and 37 of that came on 1 carry. He did break 1 big one for a touchdown, their only touchdown. Tri-County kind of turned the tables. You know, last week I talked to you guys up in Winston.
Right.
And Bryce Warner had a big night passing the ball. And Tri-County decided to slow things down and rush the ball tonight, dominated the line of scrimmage, had 330 yards rushing, and put up 7 touchdowns. And won the game 43-6. And one of the most impressive stats was, or not really a stat, but just the fact about the game, Tri-County had 9 possessions, had 1 punt, 1 turnover on downs, and 7 touchdowns.
That's a pretty good night. What are the stats on that running back again? How many yards?
For Hunter?
Yeah.
He had somewhere right around 40 yards total. He had a bunch of negative carries, and he had 1 rush for a 37-yard touchdown. So outside of that, basically 3 rushing yards.
Tell you, that's a big win for you guys, Cliff. That is a big win for you guys.
Yeah, it was a big night, and now, you know, all Tri-County has to look forward to now is a first-time ever matchup next week with the Carters from down in Taylorsville. They've got Taylorsville coming to Flora next Friday night for a first ever match in the 2 schools. So interesting to see what happens next Friday night. I'll have Josh back with me next Friday night, so you'll be hearing from him after the game. But yeah, he's real excited about that matchup between Taylorsville and Tri-County next Friday.
By the way, do you know what a tartar is or a tartar is?
You can tell me.
That's a Mongolian warrior.
Oh, well, there you go. They'll be coming to Florida to face the Rebels next Friday night, so we'll find out first.
I'll tell you what, they'll be parking all over 49, won't they?
Yeah, well, I called the Holmes. I was on the call for the Holmes East Mississippi game last night, and after seeing Ty Keys, I hope they don't have another Ty Keys they bring to Florida.
Well, I'll tell you what, he was a good one. Hey, Cliff, thanks for staying. I know it's past your bedtime, but I thank you for staying up with us. I'll move you back to the 10 o'clock slot next week.
Oh, we're good, man. I made it just fine. I look forward to talking to you guys in a couple weeks.
Sounds good, Cliff. Thank you.
Jared Schatz to talk to you.
All right, Jared, have you figured out this Germantown offense yet?
You know, guys, it's just a young team. We basically played, Pearl obviously went through these struggles a year ago. And
right.
Let me tell you, that's a fantastic football team. They really have all the weapons around their quarterback and Jack Durr. And I think we're more explosive offensively than we were a year ago in Coach Russ Mitchell's first year. We really leaned on a senior-led defense last year, and we may have overachieved a little bit. But this year we have more pieces on offense. We just have a lot of penalties, turnovers, and a lot of things at inopportune times with a young team where, like Pearl, you have to learn to lose as a team before you can learn to win, and I feel like that's where we're at. And I feel like we're a better team. This may sound crazy. We went 5-7 last year. Like I said, we may have overachieved. But I feel like we may not win as many games this year, but we're even a better team than we were last year. And part of that is we don't have as many games on the schedule with the whole 7A reclassification. and you don't get as many non-district games, obviously. But I feel like Russ Mitchell's really got this thing going in the right direction. We have so many sophomores and juniors that are contributing right now that I feel very good about the future. But I tell you what, Pearl they can score in so many ways. We went up 7-0. We thought all right, we're going to give these guys a fight. I think we made the fighting Greg Flynn's pretty mad. They scored 28 unanswered. And so after they scored 28 unanswered, we made it 28-14, and it was just kind of back and forth in the second half. But I'll tell you what, that's a football team that can score in so many ways. They can score over the top with explosive plays, and they can score methodically. So good luck to District 3 playing those guys.
Well, Jared Schatz, we appreciate it. Good luck with your broadcast of the state championship games right here on MPB this December. Thank you, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Russ. Y'all have a great weekend.
All righty. Wow. Pearl must be the real deal.
Yeah,
the Fighting Flynn's?
The Fighting Flynn's. That's good. They're really good. But it is a remarkable turnaround for them. It really is.
You have that year, you got to put it together. We'll be back.
Did you know HBCUs are a great place to network? Did you know Cricket has a great network with speedy 5G and is a proud supporter of HBCUs? Yes.
Mia, everybody already knows.
Dante, did you know this is an A and B conversation? So you need to see yourself out. He knows now.
Welcome back to Friday Night Under the Lights. And Friday Night Under the Lights tonight made possible by State Treasury of Mississippi and College Savings Mississippi, the administrators of the Mississippi Affordable College Savings Plan. Their website is treasury.ms.gov/college savings. All right, Chris, who do we have?
Wayne Flurry on the phone for you, Russ.
Oh, big win for the Tomcats tonight.
Well, it was a good night, Russ. The Tomcats pick up win number 2, back-to-back wins in a homecoming night where they were underdogs, to say the least.
Who was it that they played?
We had to take on Quitman tonight, and of course, for the second game in a row, the Tomcats faced a D1 prospect in number 5 back there at Kylan Deere. I think every D1 school around that's heard of his name is after him. And I tell you what, the Tomcat defense, I cannot say enough about them. I told you guys back early in the season when the Tomcats lost to Biloxi and then to Poplarville, I said, I really think they're going to be okay. Russ, the defense has come together. And, from what West Jones did to Poplarville tonight in Poplarville, I would imagine Coach Beach and company would like to have Coach Aycock back over there in Poplarville.
Well, how did you stop that running back spot? I want to know.
Well, they held him to 42 yards on 18 carries, less than 2.5 yards a touch for that young man. And I tell you what, it was Colton Stringer and Tomcat defense just getting the job done constantly over and over, pounding the line of scrimmage. They really won that battle up front, Russ. 138 yards for Quitman overall tonight in the game. Unofficially, of course, those are my stats.
Well, those are pretty impressive stats, and Tomcats come up with a big win. Now, is this a program that's off next week too, or are you still playing next week?
No, we had our off week last week, if you remember.
That's right.
Before. And we go on the road next week to St. Stanislaus before welcoming Laurel in the week after to start region play.
Well, it doesn't get any easier. But enjoy the win tonight. They stopped a really good running back tonight, and that defense, you're right, they may have just come into their own. Thank you, Wayne. We appreciate it. Have a great weekend, bud.
Oh, absolutely. You guys too.
All righty.
Talk to Granny.
Granny, where in the world did you wind up tonight?
Well, y'all keep talking about all these homecomings. I hadn't run up on a homecoming all year.
I don't know how.
I don't know either. But I went to Scott Central tonight. They played Forest, and this was a great defensive game. These two teams right here are the two best defensive teams I've seen all year. If the first person that gets to you, he's gonna tackle you. They don't miss tackles. Neither team. This is a good two good defensive teams playing tonight.
And they're like, were they about 8 miles apart from each other?
Yeah, about 8 miles apart. That's right.
All right, so go ahead.
Hey, it was 10-7. 10-7. Forest beat them. Both teams scored a touchdown in the first half, 7-7, and Forest kicked a 32-yard field goal right there before halftime, make it 10-7. And neither team scored in the second half, but Scott Central was driving, and they were on about the 20-yard line with 25 seconds left in the game. They threw the pass, and it was intercepted at the goal line.
Oh, so
I thought they were going to win it. I really thought Scott Central was going to win it, but it was 10-7. Great ball game, Russ.
Boy, I tell you, when you said defensive, you were right. 10-7. Don't see many of those.
I mean, the first person that gets to you is going to tackle you, and I just don't miss tackles. Every coach on both teams must be defensive minded.
And that was Forest winning, right? 10-7.
Yeah, Forest won 10-7.
Okay.
And Scott Central had a shot, and it's picked off at the goal line. That must have been a good one. That's good, man. Good ball game.
Great game. Man.
Yeah,
great game.
You got treated, and no homecoming. That's good.
No homecoming. Hey, we got one next week in the sticks at West Jones.
They're waiting in the weeds, aren't they, Brian?
Well, hey, West Jones, Jackson Prep. They don't get no better than that.
Wow.
I guess I'll see you next Friday.
Oh, yeah, I will be in the sticks next week. Hey, there's going to be two great crowds there. I know that.
I know. You're exactly right. Thanks, Brian. We appreciate it.
Jeff Hager from the Gulf Coast.
Oh, all right. First of all, Jeff, Ocean Springs is for real, correct?
Apparently so. and we didn't have any doubt about it, but it's just so easy to, count them out because no Bray Hubbard. But even before the season, during the high school football previews that we do, Coach Bramlett was talking about the message he gave the team was, Tennessee winning the national championship the year after they were supposed to with Peyton Manning. So that's kind of been their whole rallying cry this year. And obviously, if you can play with Picayune, you can play with anybody in the state. So big statement win. Picayune scored on its very first play from scrimmage, a 69-yard house call from 3-star running back Darrell Smith. Now, it is worth noting no Chris Davis, the 4-star guy committed to Stanford. He is a fractured collarbone, so he's going to be out probably 4 to 6 weeks. But otherwise, Ocean Springs, very, very tough on defense, and that's saying something because Picayune is equally tough on defense. But, look out.
Talk to me a little bit about this quarterback that took over now that Hubbard's gone, and it looks like he's running his team pretty well.
Yeah, so his name's Will Berglund, and they call him Dabo. I think he's from South Carolina, so there's some kind of Clemson reference there. But so he, it seems like he's settling in, and the passing game is kind of similar, where it's like they're trying to get you horizontal, spread you sideline to sideline, and they're really creative in the way they get the hands in the ball in the hands of Bryson Smith has turned into a big playmaker for them. He was a transfer from Petal, I think, before last season, so now he's a junior. He started on defense for him last year, now really explosive on the offensive side of the ball, and Will Smith is a running back for them that's big time. So, they still have weapons. Their defense is better. And, the quarterback, I think week in and week out, he's just getting more comfortable in the pocket, kind of letting it fly. He threw a really, really nice ball over the top to the pylon for a touchdown tonight in the first quarter. So, if he can, connect on these passes consistently, and then he also ran a quarterback draw right up the middle, so he's got kind of the blend of, the speed and the arm, and of course, again, no one's Bray Hubbard, but, he is very, very capable back there under center.
You think Picayune's going to be around at the end?
I think Picayune's going to be around at the end, and, if nothing else, they're remember 2 years ago, they lost to Iberville in the regular season when they had that 35-member senior class. So it's not like they can't lose, but, they've just been so good that we get accustomed to the fact that they don't. So, once they get into 6A play, I think, Hancock, Pascagoula, George County, they'll make it interesting. It would not shock me to see Picayune run the table yet again in that region. And once they get to the playoffs, it seems like they get tougher, and it seems like they almost like playing from behind. I mean, they keep coming back, and they just, I guess, dug too big of a hole in this one. But they got a lot of toughness and grit, and until proven otherwise, I'm going to roll with Picayune.
You mentioned Hancock there. Aren't they having a pretty good season too?
So we have 2 undefeated teams left on the coast, and I guess strength of schedule can play into this sometimes. But Hancock has impressively won every game by at least 3 touchdowns. They are 5-0, and Harrison Central also 4-0 with a win over Mendenhall tonight. So something to keep your eye on, because Hancock, Dylan Moran, he was actually our student athlete of the week this week at quarterback, and he has put in a lot of work kind of when no one's watching in the off season, working with his cousin Wyatt Davis, who's a private quarterback coach who works with a lot of top-notch guys across the state. But you can really see just the leap from junior to senior year, and kind of as he goes, they go, and they got a ton of weapons. They're pretty solid on defense. So, they're going to be fun to watch. Their motto this year is standard over feelings, and they're playing like it.
Jeff, we got to run. Thanks so much for the report. A lot of good stuff happening down on the coast, and we look forward to talking to you each and every week here on Friday Night Under the Lights.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
All righty. Jeff Hager from the coast.
James Murphy.
Hey, James, how you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good. How about you guys?
Pretty good. Did you go to one particular game, or were you at the office?
I was at the office, but I did get to keep tabs of a very interesting one up in Germantown, Tennessee. The Tupelo went up there to face Houston High School and lost for the first time this season, 38-33. Guys, this was about as back and forth a game as I've seen since coming down here. I believe it looked like there were, I believe the teams combined for about somewhere in the ballpark of about 13, 14 points each in the final 5 minutes and 18 seconds. It was one of those things where whoever had the ball last, and tonight it was Houston, and they made a few more plays on offense and handed Tupelo its first loss of the season.
What size school is Houston, Tennessee? I'm just not familiar with that school.
If I'm double checking right now, so they're 6A Region 8, so I believe they're in the largest class in the state, but I'm not very well versed with classifications up there.
Okay, I got you.
Well, they must have done a good job defensively on Tupelo, because no one has been able to stop Tupelo yet.
They did, but a lot of it was just they had some playmakers on offense. They had a running back, Damon Sissa, who had about 20 carries, 129 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He was just one of those guys when if you thought you tackled him, you didn't. And they had a quarterback, Chandler Day, who's 9 for 20, 203 yards and 3 touchdowns, including the game winner. He just made all the big passes when he needed to. Those 2 alone, I think, were 2 of the better playmakers Tupelo's seen. Not just this year, but I think over the past 2 years. They were so dominant all year ago. And they just ran into some tough playmakers. And, again, they did well, but it was a hard-fought game.
Anything else interesting up there in the north?
Actually, yes. We had Biggersville knocked off by Nettleton 32-21. Biggersville was our one small school heading into this week. Let's see. South Pillow got their first win of the year. They beat Shannon 36-14. Fun fact, that's South Pillow's first win over Shannon since, I believe, 1987.
Wow! That's huge.
In Ohio. Their party like it's 1987. Moorville beat Montauk 42-15. We've got a couple of other ones. Moorville's undefeated season is still going. They beat Manatee, I believe, 42-0. And Calhoun City got a big win over East Webster, 20-17.
Thanks, James. We've got to run. Have a great weekend, my friend. Friday night Under the Lights will continue in a moment with Crazy Eights, made possible by Cricket.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket. like one of our favorite customers, Michelle.
I started my own app company, and with Cricket, I'm able to answer calls from my engineers and investors and know my signal's going to be great. If I had to describe Cricket in 2 words, they would be reliable and affordable.
5G Boss Mode activate. Smile, you're on Cricket.
We're back with Friday Night Under the Lights. It's the 11:30 hour. As soon as we talk to our first caller here, Brennan Barrow, we'll go to Noah Crow with Crazy 8. So here's Brennan to talk about Mantachi and Moorville.
Hey, Brennan, I'm glad you called because there's been a lot said about this Moorville football team. And now, are they undefeated? You with me?
Yeah, 5-0. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They were 5-0, and they're probably, wouldn't you say, they're probably one of the best in their division?
I mean, I have to look at their division, but I mean, I think the big thing is just how big of a leap it was. Just going from winless last year to 5-0 this year. I mean, that's regardless of who you play. I mean, that's huge.
How did this happen? How did they go 0-5 to 5-0?
I think, the big thing is Wyatt McDaniels, their freshman quarterback, has just been, he's, tonight I think he had, off the top of my head, 3 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. He's got a good arm. He can move. He can make plays. And he's really just made the most of that offense. And then they got, they kind of recruited Mason Gillentine into playing football this year, and he's been killing it as their running back. So, yeah, it's just been, they keep the good times rolling down there. So.
Yeah, it sounds like a balanced attack. So are they off next week? But they probably playing, aren't they?
Yeah. Let me see. They've got Smithville up next.
Smithville, that'll be a good ball game. Good rivalry, and we'll see what happens on that one. Brennan, thanks for staying up with us tonight, and we really appreciate it. We'll look forward to hearing from you next week.
Great. Thanks, guys.
All right. Well, it's Cricket Wireless Crazy 8s, and that means Noah Crow. Good evening, sir. You with me?
I am.
All right. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good.
The
game was good.
The game was good? Was the crowd good?
There was well over 200 people there.
Okay, good. Well, that's a lot for an 8-man game. Tell the folks, you were at Sharkey Esquina tonight, right?
I was at Sharkey Esquina versus Briarfield Academy, where Sharkey Esquina winning 64-46. A hard-fought game at the line of scrimmage. Both teams were running the football, and I mean running the football.
And they still scored 64 points running the ball.
They did. It helps with their defense. In the first half, it was a back-and-forth contest with both teams scoring every other drive.
Wow.
Then in the end of half, Sharkey Esquina got a big interception to close the half. Then Sharkey Esquina got the ball back to start the second half. Then after they scored to get up by 2, they got another interception to get up by 14.
And the rest was history. Out. Yep. Wow. Yep. Wow. Did Cricket have fun tonight?
They were not able to attend tonight.
Oh, okay. All right. So you talked to some people. Now you're gonna run that for us, and then are you gonna come back on the other side with scores? Let's get the scores now before we run the interviews. Okay. Take us around the 8-man schedule and who beat who tonight.
Calhoun won in a barn burner, 48-46 over Newton Academy. Kemper Academy beat Prentice. Prentice beat Newton Academy 44-6. Lee Academy beat Hebron 52-24. West Memphis Christian School beat Marvel 44-6. Claiborne beat Union 36-8. Riverdale beat River Oak School 50-18. Tallulah beat Prairie View Academy 48-42. Franklin beat Wilkerson County Christian School 46-14. Porter's Chapel Academy beat Kennesaw 58-6. Tunica Academy beat Delta Academy 56-12. DeSoto beat Deer Creek. Deer Creek beat DeSoto 30-20. Park Place beat Humphreys Academy 29-21. Benford Christian beat Hillcrest 56-22. In our game of the week, Sharkey Issaquena beat Briarfield Academy to go 6-0, 64-46.
That is a huge win, and I think you talked with some people, correct?
I talked to the coach, Matt Holman, the running back, Gary Jackson, who had 5 touchdowns and well over 200 yards, and Tom Davis III, who had a crucial interception in third.
All right, well, let's roll those interviews.
I'm here at Sharkey Issaquena as a Briarfield Academy 62-46. Gary Jackson, you had over 200 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. What do you think about today's performance?
Today's performance, I did better than I did last week. And I had to show something to prove. Show the coach that we different from every other team.
What'd you see in the second half that the coach told the team for y'all to be able to get back on top and close out this game?
He told us to put everything behind us and keep fighting, keep showing that you're great.
And what do you think about your offensive line today?
Oh, they outstanding.
And for Tom Davis III, you had a crucial interception in the third quarter to help your team get up for after y'all scored to get up to another score to get up by 7. What'd you see out there to get that
Saw a lot of brotherhood. Getting back down.
In the first half, the other team was playing. Y'all were in a back and forth contest with the other team playing very physical. What did your coaches tell you at halftime to be able to get this win?
Yeah, we're gonna go out here and get the win, and don't let the stuff on the field interfere with what we got the rest of the season.
And congratulations to Gary Jackson for winning our Cricket Wireless Player of the Week, and Tom Davis III for winning our Impact Player of the Week. Matt Holman of Sharkey Issaquena Academy. What did you tell your team at halftime after a back and forth contest in the first half to be able to get that win and pull it out?
I just told them to just maintain, be disciplined, keep hitting. You're gonna have to stop being the nail and be the hammer. That's all we told them. And they came out and we made a few adjustments, and that's what they did.
This game was a very physical game from the line of scrimmage. How did you get your team to not take it overboard and just stay in the game?
Well, like I said, discipline, following your track, being coachable, just keeping that mindset, staying focused. And that's what players have to do when they get tired and they're fatigued in a ball game. We haven't played a whole game this year. So it was a really, really good test of adversity for our kids to pull through. I mean, we're talking about a team that went 1-9 last year. So we've grown up tonight.
And what do you think about Gary Jackson's performance? He had over 200 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns.
He's a phenomenal athlete. He's a great player. He's been a leader all year. He's been our go-to guy. He was injured last year, but he's just a special player. That's all I can say about him.
And what about somebody like Tom Davis III that got that crucial interception in the third quarter?
Another kid that's an amazing player. He's ball smart. He knows the game. He's just very coachable, very likable.
And what do you hope your team takes away from this game into next week?
I hope we grew up tonight. So it's not going to be easy every night.
Crazy Eights is brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Smile, you're on Cricket. Department of Treasury, Unclaimed Money, and Impact Mississippi, along with Malone Roofing. Reporting from Sharky is a Queen Academy, I'm Noah Crow.
All right, so Noah, you still with me?
I am.
Big game. Big game. Sounded like they were very excited. I like that coach's excitement. So that one's in the book. So where will you go next week?
I will say, if you want to watch the extended video, go on the website. It'll be on there later tonight.
Okay.
With more interviews.
So more an extended video of what happened up at Sharkey Essequina tonight, and that'll be on Friday night underlights.com. All right, next week's game is what?
Prentice versus Christian Collegiate Academy.
And that will be in Prentice.
It will be in Prentice.
All right. Well, good job on those interviews tonight and also getting all the scores. Dr. Dave will have those scores up on the Crazy Eights, and everybody will get to know exactly who won and who lost. Be careful coming home, my friend, and enjoy your weekend.
You too.
All righty. All right, Chris, what we got?
You.
Me.
That's all I've got.
All right, well then.
Scores.
Scores. That's what we need.
Yeah, let me give you some. It's been a while since we've really given you an update. Starkville defeated Oxford 33-13. Pearl had a big win, beating Germantown by the score of 44-28. It was Macomb shutting out South Pike 49-0. Houston, Tennessee defeated Tupelo 38-33. Stone over Quitman 21-14. Hattiesburg beat Sumrall 42-14. It was Forest defeating Scott Central 10-7. Jefferson Davis County over Raleigh 28-13. Holmes County Central 42, Florence 40. Calhoun City beat East Webster 20-7. Columbia remains undefeated. They defeated North Pike 39-21. And one final get in Greene County over Perry Central 42-14.
Well, support from Friday Night Under Lights comes from Malone Roofing. They have metal walls and maintenance and serving Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and Florida's Panhandle. Commercial and residential roofing information can be found at ecmalone.com. Friday Night Under the Lights will continue in a moment.
Roof problems? Malone Roofing has you covered. Mississippi's residential and commercial roofing experts. Our work proves it. Call today or visit online at ecmalone.com.
Cricket, like one of our favorite customers, Michelle.
I started my own app company, and with Cricket, I'm able to answer calls from my engineers and investors and know my signal's going to be great. If I had to describe Cricket in 2 words, they would be reliable and affordable.
5G Boss Mode activate. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Hey, gentlemen, we're in the last segment of the last hour. It has gone by fast tonight, but anyway, George, I'm sure you've got more scores, and then we've got Brandon Shields on the phone.
Very good. Okay.
I do. Let's pick up the scores. Greene County over Perry Central 42-14. Brandon, mentioned earlier, defeated Gulfport. That was another good win for Brandon, winning 35-20. Sebastopol defeated Leake County 35-6. Petal over Long Beach 42-14. Pass Christian defeated Northeast Jones 41-3. One of the bigger games of the night, Ocean Springs. This is a 7A versus a 6A. Ocean Springs defeated Picayune 31-21. Pisgah over Richland 39-6. South Panola prevailed over Clinton 26-11. Kind of an odd score.
Yeah.
Lawrence County 42, Tylertown 18, Union over Lake 27-22. Velma Jackson shut out Leak Central 58-0. Warren Central, one of the bigger games of the night, Warren Central edged Madison Central 24-21, and George County beat Wayne County 14-13.
All right, as we get ready to wrap this night up, Brandon Shields actually covered 2 games, one last night and one tonight. So, Brandon, tell us about last night's ball game first.
Last night, Meridian and Callaway. Unfortunately for Callaway, they're battling a lot of injuries, and especially on offense, they're playing guys that are playing guys in spots that they're not used to be playing and wouldn't normally be playing, and it shows. Meridian won 32-6. Daniel Hill, the 4-star running back, he's playing quarterback for Meridian this year.
Really?
Yeah. Marcus Bowles has him. Hey, put your best player at quarterback.
Yep.
That's what they've done, and they're 2-3 right now. They've been up and down. They're a very young team. Bowles told me they play 4 seniors, 2 seniors on offense and 2 on defense, and it also shows at times. So, but Daniel Hill had 151 yards on 15 carries, had 2 touchdowns. Meridian's defense forced 4 turnovers, something they haven't been doing this year a lot. So that was the difference in that one. And then the game tonight, Brandon and Gulfport. It was all about the fast start for Brandon. Jumped out 21-0 in the first 6.5 minutes of the game. Gulfport fumbled on their first play of the game, and Brandon was able to capitalize off that. And it kind of got interesting there for a second, as Gulfport did cut it to 21-13 right before halftime. And but Brandon was able to come out in the second half, extend the lead, and just kind of hang on. Landon Barnes had 189 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Nate Blunt had 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. They were very balanced. And hey, Brandon, that's that 0-2 start. They've won 3 in a row now, heading into district play. So.
Well, and you knew, Brandon, that Sam Williams, would get that thing turned around over there, and their schedule's just been brutal.
Yeah, Picayune. Yeah, Picayune, Madison. Just the problem with them was just getting off to a good start. First 2 games, they were having slow starts and having to play catch up. Whereas in the last 3 games, they haven't. They've been able to get ahead and stay ahead, and that's really what it's been coming down to. So, but now, like a lot of people, probably a lot of teams in 5, 6, and 7A have bye weeks next week before starting district play. So that's the key right now.
Going to knock out a lot of games next week, isn't it? The bye week.
Yeah, thankfully.
So you'll still be covered on Thursday and Friday, right?
Oh yeah. I think I'm going to a JUCO game Thursday, and then next Friday I haven't really made my mind up yet. So I know that game you'll probably be calling is a big one.
Yep.
Prepping West Jones, that'll be a big one. So that'll be one to watch. That's for sure.
Have you had a chance to see West Jones this year?
I have not, but I know they're playing really well. They shut out a very good Poplarville team tonight, so that's a statement in itself.
Yep.
Shutting out Poplarville, that's a big win. I mean, Ocean Springs beating Picayune tonight. But another thing about Gulfport, Gulfport's lost 3 in a row now. They've got some injuries too, just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get out of their own way, if that's one way to put it. So.
Well, you can't fumble on the first play of the game.
No, you can't do that. And they kind of they did it to themselves. Just some mistakes, and it cost them. So, but they'll be fine. They start district play just like everybody else in 7A in 2 weeks. So they'll be fine come playoff time if they can get healthy. That's
I
big
think.
thing for
Brandon, I think that's kind of the battle cry across the state right now. I mean, you just got a lot of kids getting hurt.
Yeah, there's just a lot of kids getting hurt, and the problem is how long the injury is.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But yeah, it was just another fun night. I can't believe I'm asking this on the radio, but anybody have the H.W. Byers Bluff City, Tennessee score? Because I can't find it. So.
I'll guarantee you now, Dr. Dave.
Look on the website a little bit later.
Yeah, Dr. Dave will have it. It's H.W. Byers and who?
Bluff City out of Tennessee.
Bluff City. Okay, Dr. Dave, I know you're watching and listening, so we need the H.W. Byers and Bluff City. And Brandon, we'll probably have that before we get off the air because Dr. Dave finds those scores. I don't know how he does it, but he does.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for spending some time with us tonight, my friend, and we'll look forward to talking to you next Friday. May see you next Friday. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. A lot of slim chickens next week.
Thanks, Brandon. We appreciate it. All righty.
All right.
Anybody else? Does that put a wrap on it? Okay. You know, George, one of the things, and he just touched on it, we got a lot of kids getting hurt. Now, is that because maybe they're out of condition? You know, I know these coaches know better than that. Is it because maybe the football started too soon in August? I mean, you know, you got
I don't know.
Chris Davis over at Picayune. He's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks with a broken collarbone.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff happens. I think a lot of it is, to be honest with you, and this is just watching football at the pro level, at the college level, people are just bigger now than they used to be. I mean, you know, it's not that unusual. Look at a high school team, and they'll have some people that are 300 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
You never saw anything like that, you know, when we were coming along, because that was a while back. But
we were wearing leather helmets back then.
I think they're bigger. I think they're faster. I think in some ways maybe, you know, I don't know. I'm not experienced enough to say otherwise, but I think it may be physics. I mean, it's just some big people hitting one another, and it's going to cause some injuries somewhere along the way.
I was reading, you know, about Roger Staubach, and his career ended when he ran into Marlon McKeever of the Rams.
Yeah.
And he just said, "Guy's 300 pounds."
You think about that though. You remember people back in that day, and I remember. I mean, gosh, I remember like on Sunday afternoons. It seemed like the New York Giants played the Washington Redskins every weekend, and the Redskins had Sonny Jurgensen.
Who was 300 pounds.
Guy. Yeah, I know, but look at that guy. He was like 5'11", about 275, and he can throw the ball, but I mean he couldn't run. You know, but
you were safe not having to play the option against that guy.
I mean, exactly. Yeah. I mean, but it's just, people are just different now. I think athletically. They're more advanced, but I think they're bigger and faster, and I think the collisions are probably, again, like I say,
harder.
Hey, look, I mean, you know, Dave doesn't have time to explain this tonight, but I'm sure it's more of a physics, calculus type problem.
All right, there you go.
There it is. Oh, H.W. Byers, Brandon, if you can hear this, H.W. Byers defeated Bluff City 27-10. Now, he probably had to contact the CIA to get that number, but he got it.
That's why Dr. Dave is on the staff.
Yes,
and
sir.
You know, he will chase those. I mean, all the scores are going to be on the website.
Right.
So if you missed one tonight and you want to go back and look at it, some of the big upsets tonight, but H.W. Byers was not upset tonight.
No.
So, Brandon, there's your score,
there's
bud.
Your score.
Hey, I want to thank everybody.
Sleep comfortably.
That's right. I want to thank everybody for participating tonight, and thank Liz and Charles here at MPB for running it for us tonight. And gonna be moving on from Jason Klein. He's gonna retire of kinda here at MPB, and certainly want to thank. He's been a very integral part of our success here on MPB for Friday Night Under the Lights, and we thank him for that. So that's going to put a wrap on what we're doing tonight, and I hope you enjoyed Friday Night Under the Lights as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. We'll be right back here next week. Probably a lot of less games, but we'll be here. Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy your football.
CBS.com. Gearing up for the weekend here, folks. We're going to maintain dry weather at least through the early half of it. Parts of the state dodging some wet weather chances on Sunday. Right now, though, it does not appear it's going to be a complete washout for any plans you have. Clear into below through the night, a low 60s. Sunny through Saturday, the high upper 80s. Mainly isolated showers and a thunderstorm arriving Sunday. In Vicksburg, fair weather for the early morning and sunny through Saturday. Our overnight low upper 60s, Saturday's high low 90s. Pretty quiet around here in Pascagoula. The overnight low upper 60s. We'll see highs this weekend from the upper 80s to near 90 with a good deal of sun. I'm Jennifer Naramore. This is Think Radio.